In this next video for Cherishing Butterflies, I am talking about a defining moment that every woman with TS shares, the diagnosis, which I refer to as the moment when the chrysalis breaks and you discover you're a butterfly. For most people who are born these days, they're getting diagnosed in the womb before they're even born. That's great. That is awesome. It makes me really happy. Why? Because now these families have every opportunity to become informed and become wonderful advocates before their child even starts forming memories. When you're really little, like preschool age, you're still just starting to form those memories. So if your family finds out you have Turner syndrome at that point in your life, you still have a good chance that they're still going to be able to, bring you up with a positive idea of what having Turner syndrome means. They have time to find all the support groups and whatever. If you find out in their school age years, say 5 years old to pre-puberty, not only do you still have a good chance to get a lot of the early intervention services like growth hormone and HRT started at the right time, and a lot of really important things. The thing about school age is you're still old enough to kind of have that sense of feeling different. Something's different about me, and having to wrestle with that emotional problem. While school agers have this feeling of being different, they're still just forming their emotional mature. They're starting to really focus on their emotional development and make friends. So this is a key time for them to connect with other little girls with Turner syndrome, and that can make a tremendous difference in how isolated they feel. Teens and young adults, I think this is the most difficult point in your life possible to get a diagnosis. Junior high is already hell, so imagine putting all that on top of it. So these young women getting diagnosed at 11, 12, 13, whew, that's a biggie. Okay, again, connecting with the community with other teen girls with TS could be a really big help. But at least if they're 13 or so, they can get that HRT in before it's really late. The last group I'm going to talk about, my group, those of us who got diagnosed at the end of our teen years, but we're still young adults. We're adults, but we just started being adults, so essentially we're still kind of stepping out of the teen years, and our brains haven't finished developing, and our emotional maturity has not finished developing, and the prime years to get that HRT and develop normally through adolescence, well, that's gone, and it didn't happen. We basically got to experience junior high and high school in the body of a 10-year-old. Oh, yay. So, that particular group of young ladies, I hear a lot of feelings of betrayal. For some of them, the worst case scenario ever, worst thing you can do is find out your child has TS and you don't tell them until their teen years. Ooh, parents, please, I beg you don't do this if you can avoid it. One thing that stands out about those of us who got diagnosed in our later teen years or early adult years is there's a tendency to really reject any help or support that is offered by friends and family. Now, my family wanted to help, but they didn't really know what to do. They weren't given any information or tools. And not only could I not really help them because I was just trying to figure out what was going on myself, I had no idea what advice to give myself or anyone else on it, but also I had a lot of anger and resentment, and not so much directed at my family, more directed towards the medical community for not recognizing it. Ultimately, that boils down to awareness, not so much ignorance. There just wasn't enough awareness. That's why I didn't get diagnosed. But even though I didn't blame family, I still felt like, well, y'all had your chance. You took me to a doctor. The doctor said there was nothing wrong and nothing else happened, so now it's my turn. And I'm going to make sure I get answers, and I'm going to make sure it's right. And that's all great and good. But my advice to other young women at that age who are just diagnosed and they're kind of tempted to push family away because the last thing we want to deal with when we're trying to deal with being diagnosed is to deal with all the feels our family has on top of it. We don't want it. Go away, go away, go away. So you know, for those of you who are in that position, you know, your family really does want to help. Try to give them something. Give them something to do, even if it's just driving you to your appointments, even if it's just listening while you tell them what you're going through, and just let them know, okay, thank you for listening, that's all I wanted you to do, okay, bye, that's fine. Just let them do something so that they feel involved, because they're feeling really helpless. And for the family, and especially parents at this time, if your kid is kind of pushing you away, just understand that that's understandable, and it's not your fault, and they probably know that, but what they really need you to do is to go out on your own and get help and resources to help you with your feelings about your child getting diagnosed, because it's a big deal and your feelings are valid and you deserve support. But don't look to your child to give it to you, and don't let your child know how sad / disappointed / traumatized / that you are. That does not help them. So you really need to let them own the experience when you're with them. It's about them and what they're experiencing. And then you need to go seek out support from your friends and other family or professionals or whatever will help you in order to deal with, you know, my child has this thing and I've got to adjust to this. Don't bring that to your child, because it's so easy to translate into, oh, I'm a source of disappointment, you know, and that's not actually what's really going on. So. And it comes right down to it. Treat yourself the age you are. If you're 15, own that you're 15. Require others to treat you like you're 15 and not 7. If you're 20, remind people, yes, you are an adult. You may be a young adult, you may be an experienced adult, you may need help, but you're an adult. That means the decisions are yours. How to do things, when to do things, what treatments you get. Those are your decisions if you're over 18 or whatever the age of consent is in your state. And it's okay for you to remind family of that. Because when they see their young adult coping with something like this, it is real understandable for them to want to swoop in and protect you and help you and do something about it. But you're the boss. This is your body. You're the boss. And even if you're not, even if you're a minor, you still have some say in what goes on. You know, some age-appropriate say in what goes on. So, you know, advocate for yourself. And for the families, again, treat them the age they are. Treat them the age they are. If they're an adult, for heaven's sakes, treat them like an adult. The biggest help that certain family members gave me were the ones who were allowing me to cope with this as an adult. When I got my diagnosis at 19, did I do everything I should have in a medical sense right away? No. I took 3 months to just mourn because I was not able to accept what it is I needed to do next. I just needed to deal with the fact that my life had a new reality to it, and that takes time, and I think it's appropriate to take that time for yourself. I wasn't just running away or burying my head in the sand, although it got interpreted that way, but I needed some time to myself, and after which I did go back and I did do all the medical things I needed to do. Treat your butterflies how the age they are. Treat yourself the age you are. Expect respect. Expect that recognition. When your chrysalis broke, what was that defining moment like for you? Were you one of the lucky ones who has always known throughout your whole life that you were a butterfly, or did you discover your wings later in life? How did that affect your mental health? A big, big thank you to all of you who have been watching my videos, you know, all the way through, not just the first 15 seconds, but watching the whole thing and supporting me in doing this. Thank you very much.